want to demonstrate today a different way to assemble a 461 valve assembly. This will prevent any kind of marring on your main stem that goes through the anti-friction bushing to make sure that you've got free travel. So these are your components for your valve assembly. You have your main stem, you have your lower stem, you have the fork on the bottom, you have your two retainers, you have your two receipts, you have a 9/16 18 nut, stainless steel, and your collar for tightening with a set screw in it. So first thing we're going to do is install our retainer onto our upper seat. We'll install our upper seat, and now we're going to install our nut. Now, it's very difficult to get this nut tight enough on this without gripping this with some sort of vise or anything, and that's going to leave a mark. So what I've done is, it's called a double nut. What we do is we put these two nuts, making it on the stem. Make sure that you give yourself a little bit of space between the nut that you're going to tighten and the two blocking nuts. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to tighten these two nuts together to each other. We'll use a 9/16 wrench and our crescent wrench. Now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm starting off with my 9/16 wrench up here, and I'm going to put this wrench on the lower part so that I'm pulling up and pulling those two nuts together to tighten them together. Now we're going to move our wrench to the nut to tighten our seat, and now we're going to move our crescent wrench to the top position. This will allow us to tighten the nut against the bottom of the seat while using these two nuts to tighten against each other. Now you can ensure that this nut is always going to be tight. So at this point we need to loosen those, so the best thing to do is find a nice flat surface, lay that wrench down, and with your crescent wrench, with an open palm, otherwise you're going to hit your knuckles, open palm and push down on that nut to loosen it. So that's your first step to ensure you've got a tight seal for this seat. Our next step now is to do the same thing. We're going to take our lower stem, put our retainer on there, put our seat on there, now putting our fork on there, and using our extra bolt so that we don't collapse the lower part of our valve assembly. We can now make sure that it's going to be nice and without any problems. I'm going to run that bolt down almost all the way down, and you can see through this split that that bolt is down. We now can grip with our crescent wrench on the flats for that part, turn this over and tighten the fork. Now you put enough pressure to give that a good tight fit, but don't go overkill on it, because what you'll do is you'll round the edges on here, and then you're going to have difficulty with your compression ring. So now you can put your compression ring on. You've put the two valve assemblies together now. You've ensured that there's no problem with your seats. Make sure that they are free and easy to move so that when you do your adjustment, you're not having any problems setting your valves. That's it.